Welcome to Mariners Fan Central.
The nail in the coffin for the Eugenio Suarez era in Seattle is all but driven in. And if you're sitting there waiting for the front office to back up the truck for Alex Bregman, you're delusional. The word behind the scenes is Alec Bohm. I know we've heard this song and dance before, but the pieces on the board in Philly have shifted. The Phillies are desperate to shedding salary and clear space for their own run at Bregman, making Bohm the high-end leftover they're looking to dump. Bleacher Report's Tim Kelly just pegged the Mariners as the top landing spot if this trade gains steam. And I've got sources telling me Jerry Dipoto's interest isn't just smoke. The reality is Suarez is hunting for a $45 million payday that Seattle won't touch with a 10-foot pole. If you want the truth that mainstream TV won't tell you and prefer analysis that doesn't sugarcoat the front office's moves, you need to subscribe now and hit those notifications so you don't miss any off-season bombs. Bohm drove in 97 runs in back-to-back years, but 2025 was a massive reality check. A .287 average is fine, but only 11 homers in 120 games. He cracked a rib in July, his shoulder flared up in September, and his power just evaporated. It's exactly the kind of move the Mariners gamble on. All-star talent at a discount, arbitration control at $10 million, and huge bounce-back potential. The real sticking point is the price tag. Last year, the Phillies had the nerve to ask for Logan Gilbert or George Kirby. Give me a break. Now, with Bohm coming off an injury-plagued season and a sharp decline in slugging, his market value has cratered. Seattle is currently rolling with Ben Williamson at the hot corner, and let's be honest, Williamson is a grinder, but his ceiling isn't in the same zip code as a healthy Alec Bohm. Losing Jorge Polanco to the Mets left a crater in the infield that Cole Young might try to fill at second, but third base remains a wasteland. Dipoto is walking that classic tightrope. He wants to hoard cash to keep the pitching staff together, but Dan Wilson's lineup desperately needs protection for Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh. Alec Bohm isn't the 30-homer threat Suarez was in his prime, but he puts the ball in play, avoids the K, and has the gap-to-gap power that could actually play well in the T-Mobile Park humidity, but we know how this goes. If Seattle blinks, the Angels or even the Yankees could swoop in, given how pathetic the third base market looks right now. The burning question is whether Bohm is actually the fix or just another expensive Band-Aid destined to watch his power numbers die in the Seattle Marine layer. He had 2 serious stints on the IL in 2025, and dropping $10 million on a guy who might spend a third of the season in the trainer's room is a reckless gamble for a team in win-now mode. On the flip side, handing the keys to third base entirely to Ben Williamson feels like an admission of failure for a franchise that was one win away from the World Series last year. The front office claims they aren't active in the third base market, but that's the oldest smoke screen in baseball. They're waiting for Bohm's price to drop until they don't have to surrender an elite rotation arm. But what's the move, Mariners Nation? Do you take the risk on Alec Bohm, knowing his physical red flags, or do you let Ben Williamson sink or swim? Dipoto is playing with fire by not adding a proven bat to this lineup. Drop your take in the comments, because I need to know if I'm the only one losing sleep over this lack of urgency. For raw, unfiltered M's talk, keep it locked right here.